Hello everyone. Today I thought of sharing with you all three ways that how you repress your emotions. What do I mean by that? Most of the people, rather than feeling their feelings, which is the way for you to heal your emotions, what they do is they repress their emotions. And then when we repress these emotions, we create many dysfunctions because these emotions come in different ways. Remember, whatever we repress comes out in ways that we don't even know. Sometimes we repress, and then it comes like a tsunami effect. And it's really problematic. So, how can we just feel these emotions instead of repressing them? And what are the ways that we repress emotions? First thing is we holding our breath. Like when we are in a shock, like we hold our breath and then all that emotions start repressing inside us rather than feeling them. Remember, like if someone like start breathing deeply, what happens is all these repressed emotions start bubbling up. And that's what I do with clients. And whenever I work with clients, I do breath work. And when I do breath work, immediately their repressed emotions start coming up. They were in a really neutral state. And then when I start the breathing exercise, and all this sadness, all this anger, all these fears start coming out. Where were they? It was always inside you. And what happens is you holding your breath, you breathe very shallow ways from your chest. And when you start doing deep breathing, all that emotion which is repressed inside you start coming out. So this is why I do this work with clients, especially the breathing exercises, because it really helps them to like bring out all this repressed emotion and finally release them from their system. That is the first one. And then the second one is you have your own distractions. Each time you start feeling sad, starts feeling stressed, or anger, or any other way, then what you're going to do is you have some ways that you distract yourself. Either you watch some TV series, or you do some video games, or you go for food and binge eating, or you do smoking, or you drink alcohol, or any substance, or any other way. You have your own distractions. Each time you feel some kind of uncomfortable feeling, you want to distract yourself through these activities. So this is another one way that you repress your emotions. Rather than going for that substance, if you have stayed with those emotions, you will no longer need to go for that substance. The very reason you go for that substance is because there are uncomfortable feelings that you don't want to feel. But if you have stayed with that uncomfortable feeling regardless, you no longer need to go for that. I know that this is not easy as it sounds, but that's how it works. Sometimes it like an addiction is for a very long time you're being conditioned, like this has been there for a very long time. It wouldn't be easy for you to let go of an addiction because this addiction comes with an emotional charge. You would not be able to let go of this immediately. But more you practice, if you stay in awareness and do these mindful practices and try to stay with your own emotions, like practicing 1 or 2 months, I guarantee you this is going to go away. Any addiction. And I have supported my clients to get out of their binge eating habits and all these other very disruptive behaviors in their life through mindfulness, bringing their awareness and allowing them to feel their emotions deeply, not running away them. These emotions are not monsters that you need to run away from. In fact, these emotions are indications. They show your boundary violations. They show you are like you're not expressing yourself. They show that you're not the way you're supposed to live, like you are not expressing who you truly are. Like these are like emotions are feelings, like which gives you messages. It's like a navigation system. And then the third thing is how you repress your emotions is staying up in your head, like like up in here, not coming into your body. What does that mean? It's like you get lost in fantasies rather than living in the reality. You just put up in these fantasies. You get hooked with all these fantasies you create because there are so many needs that you haven't fulfilled inside. What happens is tries to get your needs met through fantasies. So people are hooked in these fantasies for hours sometimes. And they're so like, forget about the fantasies, they are so caught up with their mind. So they don't need to feel what they're feeling in their body. So they are so up here, so they don't come down to their body. So third way that you repress your emotions is staying so caught up with your mind and hooked with the fantasies rather than coming down into the body. And I've noticed that people who have had like very much like let's say some mental disorders, that they have this tendency that they so get caught up with these fantasies. And their fantasy world, this whole world becomes so real than the reality that they are living in. So they are so caught up with their mind. So they don't feel safe to come to their body. Because in the body there are so many repressed emotions. So they don't feel safe to come to their body. And with my work, when I work with my clients, I support them to come down to their body and start treating the body as a temple and coming down to the body more and more and making it more safer to come inside. Because when there's so many repressed emotions in there, like you don't feel like stay, because you don't feel safe to be in the body. So that is the third way that you repress emotions. So like understand, like see what are the ways that how you holding your breath, what are the distractions you make in order to run away from the emotions, and how you caught up in fantasies and also like caught up in your own mind so that you don't need to come down to your body. So see and become aware how you repressed your emotions. And when we repressed emotions, creates dysfunctions in our lives. So for us to heal these emotions, how to heal these emotions is by feeling them. So become more aware the ways that you repress your emotions in order to heal them. Thank you.